In the American imagination, the mix of fear and admiration for the Indians of old Western novels and old Hollywood movies has mostly been replaced by, frankly, apathy. Most of us don't know much about life among Native American tribal people. For example, that instead of leather and feathers, today's self-proclaimed warriors wear baseball caps and baggy pants, or that unlike their predecessors of the open plains, they pose more of a threat to their own people than to anyone else.
Well, this is all evident on almost any reservation in the United States. But in a moment, you'll meet the director of a documentary that brings this to light. It's called The Seventh Fire. It was shot on the White Earth Reservation in Minnesota among members of the Ojibwe tribe. Here's the trailer.
To me, what tradition is what a group or a culture does repeatedly.
To choose right from wrong.
To where it's actually their beliefs or their behavior up on that reservation. You know, communicating with your language was a tradition. I really want my culture. I want to know my language again. You know, I consider myself to be a Pine Point product.
P-Town, born and raised.
Take a quick ride through the projects.
It's NGD, Native Gangster Disciple. Whatever the top dude tells you to do, go kill somebody, go rob somebody. Yeah. I've been here since I was 9 years old. Hey.
Lift me up so I can reach.
Bring you in the sky.
Yeah.
You know, I went to prison 4 times. Just trying to be more careful and cautious this time.
Come around to catch candy or what? I wanted to be the biggest drug cartel there ever was.
You're definitely on your way.
I don't know, man. Like, kind of has me thinking twice right now.
When I come to jail, you know, all the drugs get out of my system, and everything starts to be real clear on where I'm at. I want this cycle to end.
I used to feel like I wasn't truly indigenous. Now I say me which get your money due for showing me my true roots. Definitely native. Take responsibility for being educated. My tears shedding the sweat, large prayers go out to all those I've wronged and who have wronged me. Gotta treat them like family. Get your money due, we do kawashin. Jimushka wisiyan, me Dutch permit. Anishinaabe is your twawin. Me jit big, it came to my kaya. Anishinaabe, be my dizzy win.
It's just such a powerful film stylistically and with its message, you know? To give us even more reasons to see The Seventh Fire and to tell us how it got made, we've asked its Brooklyn-based director, Jack Pettibone Riccobono, to join us here in the studio. Jack, welcome to BK Live. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. Nice to meet you guys.
And this is a treat. Via Skype, we're also excited to introduce you to the man you just saw in the trailer, Rob Brown, one of the lead subjects in the film. Hey, Rob, how you doing?
How you doing?
Good,
Y'all
thanks.
I'm so excited that Rob is joining us via Skype. It's like talking to a movie star now. So I'm happy that you're joining us. So I'm so serial because I didn't know you were going to be here and then you popped up on the screen. But I have a question for you first while you're in the studio. Here in Brooklyn, we think that we're sort of plugging holes in the media landscape where we put on stuff you don't see on those other guys or it's all corporate and crazy. We tell stories of Brooklynites. And that's our mandate. So I wondered how you took your Brooklyn self to the middle of Minnesota and started telling a story of Native people now.
Yeah, it was an interesting journey, definitely, that brought me to this story. I did a short film on the same reservation 8 years ago called The Sacred Food, which was about the wild rice, which is a sacred food for this tribe and part of the prophecy, actually the Seven Fires prophecy that the film gets its title from, that brought them from the Northeast and had them migrate west and look for a place where food grows on the water. And that's why they settled in that whole lakes region in the middle North US and in Canada. And so I made that 8 years ago, and then about 2 years after I made that short, my producing partner read about this issue of inner city gang culture and prison gang culture migrating out to very remote native reservations. And so we started looking into it, and there was just very little out there in terms of other journalistic pieces or studies or any information. So at some point I said, let me go back to the place where I know people and see, is it happening there? You know, will they talk to me about it? And I visited the tribal college, and that was 5 years ago this past October, and Rob was in the class that day, and that's how we first met.
Wow. Rob, thank you for joining us. You're the lead in the film. I have a lot of questions about where your life is at today. But just to start, did you have any hesitations when Jack came to you and said he wanted access to you every day and your life leading up to your, you know, everything that he filmed?
There wasn't no hesitation. More or less, I could kind of sense the potential of his project, and, you know, it's kind of hard, but no, I mean, there was no apprehension.
Where are you now? How has your life evolved since we see you at the end of the film?
My life right now has taken on a whole different direction, like a complete 180 times whatever. I'm doing a lot of outreach work. I'm in the birthing and planning stages of a lot, and I had a chance to actually travel on behalf of this film. This film has been well received, you know, and I really didn't think it was going to be well received that much, and I was kind of apprehensive about it, but nonetheless prepared to answer anything that what was shown, because it is my life, and I do account for the things that are done in there. You know, I make no excuse for my actions. I own every single part of it.
Well, one thing that you did,
Things are looking.
I'm sorry, I'm interrupting, but there is one central relationship to the movie that's between you and the young man. So when we look at the relationship between you and Kevin and you trying to get him sort of on the right track, that scene when you're talking to him and the relationship that you have. So I want to ask both of you, where is he now? The film ends with this big question about what he's going to do.
Yeah, so Kevin is back on the reservation, back in Pine Point, the community where we filmed. And, you know, basically where you leave him at the end of the film, he has this opportunity to go to La Placita Institute, which is a nonprofit based in Albuquerque and is actually our outreach partner for our outreach campaign for the film. And they do some really amazing work reconnecting Native youth with their culture. They've done a lot of work in the juvenile system, correctional system, and now they're looking to expand nationally with what they do and the programs that they do. So in the film, Kevin gets a chance to go down there and sort of maybe, you know, explore a new path for his life. And he's really just not ready to make that change. And I have spoken to him recently. We've been in touch in the last couple of weeks. He knows that that invitation is open to him, but the reality is that you can't kind of force that change. It has to come from within. And I know Rob has also been in some touch with him lately. I don't know if there's anything you want to add, Rob.
Kevin right now, it's kind of different, you know. The only thing, my role right now in his life is to try to inspire him by what I'm doing. Like, I try to really stay active as far as like in social media, as to inspire through my own actions. So I'll pretty much present all the positive, and you know, it's pretty much 100% positive from now on. Like, I got some serious goals, and I've been acting on a lot of things, and I'm only trying to inspire Kevin to do that. And it becomes a case of leading the horse to water, but it's going to be totally up to him if he's going to drink or not. And I'm hoping that he does, and I'm pretty optimistic that he will.
Rob, how did your writing turn out? And we only have a minute left. I want to know what overall you hope people take from seeing this movie, how you hope to inspire people.
I only hope to inspire through, you know, I only became who I am by just owning everything and taking accountability and, you know, and truly adhering to, you know, being responsible, and now it's my obligation, and I'm propelled to do that. And I see how much of a teacher that I am. So I don't want to teach people and lead them in the bad direction anymore. You know, I want to lead them in the totally right direction. And I can only do that by positively meaning to do such wholeheartedly and respectfully.
And I wanted to add that Rob was just released at the beginning of September from a 3-year prison bid. That was his fifth time back to prison. He came through 39 foster families as a kid, and then was in and out of prison 5 times. And now, you know, when he was behind bars, part of that last trip is what we chronicle in the film. So a lot of what's going on now with the, you know, prisons being a big issue, Obama visiting a prison for the first time, you know, prison reform, that plays in, I think, a lot to what we're trying to do with the outreach campaign for the film. And we're putting a book together because he kept a journal while he was in prison and wrote some amazing poems, one of which is featured in the film.
Thank you so much. We're so looking forward to that. Please
Rob,
go
nice
and
to meet
see
you.
the
Great
movie.
job.
Thanks for joining us,
We'll all
Rob.
see The Seventh Fire. This is a
Seventh
phenomenal
Fire.
film. You did Terrence Malick proud with all the stylistic and the message and everything of it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I wish we had more time, but thank you. Everyone's going to go out and see The Seventh Fire.